Hey, this Omar, and just doing a quick recap of the Thursday night game between the Rams and the Bills, and just my quick 2 cent on what I saw. And Buffalo, they really look good out there. You know what I'm saying? They had a complete offense, defensive game. You know what I'm saying? Played extremely well. Josh Allen, he's staking his claim as, I guess, why everybody thinks he's a possible MVP candidate. He had 26, 26 to 31. You know what I'm saying? 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He played, extremely well, extremely well. Only had 5 interceptions. He also tacked in 10 attempts with 56 yards and, a touchdown as well. So, for the game, he had 4 touchdowns. Really make having his imprint in the game. You know what I'm saying? The game has looked like it slowed down a lot for him. And he's like, he's just like real smooth with it, control of the offense. He's looking real good. Running game was pretty solid. They had 121 total team yards. Singletary, he added 48 yards of on 8 attempts. Not bad. Receiving. They had Diggs doing his usual 8 receptions, 122 yards and a touchdown. And then Davis, a guy that I made a video about earlier this summer, is a guy to, watch out for. He tallied in 4 receptions, 88 yards, and 1 touchdown. Now, it's going to be interesting to see moving forward who's going to be the third option for them, because they got so many weapons, and they got weapons where they can cause a lot of mismatches for the defenses. You got Jameson Crowder that they signed in the offseason. You got McKenzie that also added a touchdown as well. He's kind of like a punt returner when they on offense. And he looks good. Like he's gonna be able to do his part, as well as they did all that last night without even incorporating Knox into the offense. So that was very impressive. Very impressive. Like, damn, like just to think, like they still have like levels that they can go to, as far as from week to week. Yeah, okay, if you take this away, I can go to this dude, and if you take this dude away, so it's going to be interesting just to see how that offense goes moving forward, as far as like how they're gonna like show themselves, how Allen's gonna show like how top notch that offense is now. And then the defense tallied in with 7 sacks. Von Miller, you could tell that he probably gave away like certain plays that they like to do, that they comfortable with, because the Rams literally, they look like shit. They didn't really do anything at all. Stafford, he came in with 29 completions, 41 attempts, 240 yards, a touchdown, 3 interceptions. And so, it was kind of a bad game. You know what I'm saying? Like, even in a blowout, they only got 240 yards. So you could tell how bad of a game it was. Henderson, he ran the ball 13 attempts for 47 yards. And Cam Akers only had three attempts, 0 yards. And so, the passing game, you're looking at, okay, Kupp had 13 receptions, 128 yards, and a touchdown. But now it's going to be like, well, who's going to be the second option? You got Higbee, who's a solid tight end. He definitely could make some plays for you. He only had 5 catches for 39 yards. And then Skower Rowenick, I might be saying his name wrong, but the guy that I guess they're gonna trust a little more. I guess they trust him a little more than Van Jefferson. And so he had 4 receptions for 25 yards. And then Allen Robinson, the new pickup, only had 1 reception for 12 yards. For their offense to be anything, I think they're going to really have to decide whether they're going to feed Robinson or feed Higbee. And so, just by them just last night, you You ain't gonna force the ball to Cup and think that that's gonna work 2 years in a row. Like the NFL defenses got hip to that. They got away with that shit in the playoff, surprisingly. But like last night, they shifted 3 over there. It's like Cup got those yards, but he had to literally work for all that shit. You know what I'm saying? And not saying he can't continue that for the whole season, but it's just gonna make their offense like in third gear pretty much. So they're gonna have to figure out who the second option is. And so what I was gonna ask is, or try to figure out, like, this is a sidebar, but like when you playing FanDuel or DraftKings, so they have you had the lineups, this person, this amount of 1,000, this 1,000, this 10,000, this 8,000, this 7,000. So you want to tell me Cam Akers, you got him for the amount you got him in, you put him on your starting lineup, and so the dude only had 3 attempts for fucking 0 yards. Not heard of nothing. You seen the injury report so far in the summer. You don't hear shit about him having no sort of issues. And last year, the fact that you couldn't even incorporate him into the offense until like the postseason, you busy wondering like, why the fuck are you gonna tell me that he's an option that you could use as far as the betting shit? And like, I get betting is gambling, so it's like that's the risk you take. But it's like, if you fucking know that the person, y'all not gonna use the person, then you should just put him as a O. If you ain't gonna use him for the fucking game, just say, all right, he ain't playing. That way you ain't gonna work all the people and shit. And that's the bullshit that sometimes you encounter when you playing them fucking them bullshit fantasy joints, daily ones. Like they'll have somebody that they say is out there, gonna be out there. They have them for a okay amount, and then next thing you know, the motherfucker don't even be out there. He don't even give you 0.6. He don't even give you 1 point and shit. And so that shit kind of blows you and whatnot when you fucking is playing that shit. You feel like you done got worked and shit. But I know that's just the bullshit that they gonna do, and you just gotta try to figure that shit out. But sometimes that shit kind of sucks because, like I said, if you ain't even gonna give him no touches, then don't even have him as an option and shit. Just tell the people, yeah, he out for this game. He in the doghouse or whatever the fuck. But I don't know. That was just a quick side note on just that bullshit. But yeah, that was just my little 3 cents on the game and last night. All right, thanks for checking me out. I'll catch you next time.